companies do not know what even inventory, they don't know how much they are producing because we have contaminated the water bodies of the world so much so that the herbicide that we use is now in the blood of penguin. Where are penguins? South Pole. So all that chemical you are using in your lawns is found in. So this water-based irrigation flourished in the last 40, 50 years along with technologies, steel industry, chemistry, everything. Just dump chemicals on the land and produce more, more. Wheat. And wheat, on top of not having fiber, it has 1% fiber, 1.2% fiber. It's on the top layers. So you remove it because we don't want things to be brownish. We want everything white. We make atta, that's your maida, whatever you call it in here, what do we call that?
All-purpose flour.
All-purpose flour, yeah. And while making that, you have some oxidizing agents synthesized. Actually, the processes produce in the in situ, something called alloxan. That alloxan is just like your bleaching powder. In fact, it is a chemical biologists use to produce in lab animals diabetes. So, but then you are all feeding your babies pretzels, donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, pizza, burger, submarine, no, I don't know. Actually, it's like a submarine. Feeding them submarines and all that is this atta, which has umpteen amount of, it's the process. You have alloxan. So cooking, why all the troubles? 2 minutes noodles. No mother is required, no father is required. You don't need any. Just boiling water, add these noodles and noodles all over the world. Noodles. Now you come in the airplane, you want noodles, hot water, and they put that something. Eat. That's it, cooking for you. 2 minutes, everything done. So our Amitabh Bachchan comes for advertisement. माँ नहीं चाहिए, बाप नहीं चाहिए, 2 minutes noodles. This advertisement ran for a long time, and so people started. Everyone's kitchen is filled with this noodles, that, from China noodles, Malaysia noodles, America noodles. Everyone is eating noodles. What are you eating? Alloxan is going into your mouths. Now you see, all at a sudden, young boys and girls started getting diabetes. Because this alloxan, what does it do? It just kills the beta cells of your pancreas. But you don't understand, it's not feeding the babies, you're also eating. Chapatis, kulchas, North fellow sir. If you said don't eat gehu, they will hit me. But then I keep telling, gehu phenk do, cancer bhagao. So we have added so many chemicals in the, it's all science and technology for you. But that we have contaminated not only our food, all things in the system. See, it's all happening in the name of food. And,
The name of healthy food.
no, it's producing sickness. And so we are all sick, we have tablets. Because for any disease, you go for BP. How long should I take these tablets, doctor? Lifelong. Diabetes, lifelong. Thyroid, lifelong. Rheumatism, lifelong. Cancer, till you have life. So this is what has happened in the last 40, 50 years, and we are all okay with it. So what did we need to do? We need to control the flooding of glucose into our blood. That's as simple as that, because we are designed to release the glucose slowly and steadily. And where is the control? No control. And you understand the biggest mistake the human race has done by choosing these two stupid grains? Rice and wheat. And rice has no control at all. So you eat, in 15 minutes it becomes glucose. And wheat, with all these modifications, 10 minutes it becomes glucose. On top of it, wheat has got some protein called gluten. And it goes and screws up your absorbing capacity of small intestine. It makes the whole lining hydrophobic. We need to be hydrophilic. The whole cells have to love water. But then, this is the base. And of course, there are oils and the protein and all that. I'll talk to you in another 5-10 minutes. So the base, 3 big imbalances: microbial imbalance, hormone imbalance, glucose imbalance. So how do we correct glucose imbalance? So you need to have something that releases glucose into your blood slowly and steadily. And that can happen only when you have the carbohydrate laced with fiber, which is difficult to remove for the hydrolytic processes. So that's what God has done in these 5 grains. Kodo millet, arikalu, Telugulo. I hope most of you are Telugu fellows, so I'll just blurt out Telugu. Kodo millet, arikalu. And all languages, we have a table. And then Raju will give you add to the group yourself. All the information is there. So Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Tamil, Kannada, all languages we have got the list. And there is also one website, Wholesome Tales. Wholesome Tales. It is from Delhi. All the things are there, all languages you can get. And Raj also has got a thing. He will provide, everyone can join the group and you will get all the information, details about, and I will give you some of the details of these grains. And so these grains, kodo millet, foxtail millet, barnyard millet, brown top millet, little millet, these 5 millets. And brown top millet is actually called American millet. Even now, Colorado, tons and tons of are produced. And what are they doing with it? It's called bird feed. So give to bird and you eat meat. So if they are stupid, we are idiots. Because Andukoralu is one of the finest grains because its ratio of carbohydrate to fiber is the least, 5.5. It has 12.5% of fiber interlinked with the carbohydrate, and all the grains have got carbohydrate. In fact, Andukoralu, that is brown top millet, has got 69% of carbohydrate. And your rice has got only 79%. So we are not any less. We have all the carbs that you want. But how are they arranged? The fiber is coming from the center of the seed, the grain, and then layers of concentric layers. It's a spherical structure, so wonderfully there. And even if you make a flour out of it, the fiber to carbohydrate links are not gone. Even if you soak it, cook it, chapati or whatever you make, still the carbohydrate is not out of the clutches of fiber. Only our hydrolytic steps have to release it slowly and steadily. And that is the beauty of this grain. So where is the control now? Control is in the grain that you eat. So the control is in the food. So now you understand the definition of food now? A grain that releases glucose slowly and steadily is the first characteristic of any food that we need to eat. where is rice and wheat in this drama? It's nowhere. So, according to this definition, rice and wheat are not your food at all. And lo and behold, from time immemorial, human race has eaten these grains. Brown top millet is American millet. Little millet is African. Barnyard millet are many varieties called actually Russian millet, German millet, Japanese millet. And then Kodo millet is Himalayan millet. The belt of Himalaya and the open spaces of the valleys, this Kodo millet just grows by itself. And then we have what is called foxtail millet. Its pinnacle looks like foxtail, and that's why called foxtail millet. It is an actually Italian millet, Alps of Italy and all those areas. But then I recognize back in 1987 to 90, all this. So if we can get back these grains and make our food, we should be able to correct this imbalance, the so-called diabetes. Actually, how does diabetes happen? No problems. Right? So you have this relentlessly the flooding of blood is going on with this glucose. We know we need to have only 5 grams of glucose in our blood at any given point of time. But then the way we are eating, oh, you drink Pepsi, Shah Rukh Khan comes, then another Khan, what is his name? Amir Khan comes and says Coke, and then Salman Khan, I come from the top, a thumbs up. All these guys are selling 40 grams of sugar in 100 ml of this stupid so-called beverages or whatever. On top of it, as if it is not enough, summer comes, you all have to have fruit juices. Each fruit juice has got 50 grams of glucose, more than the Pepsi and all this health, orange juice, this juice, that juice. You go to the airport, you are traveling, they will keep pouring and giving. You are just dumping glucose, sugar. And no fiber, no fiber, no fiber. I want to tell 10 times. No fiber, no fiber, no. So your rectum is out of whack. So no shitting, the formation of bowel is completely out of whack. So people go and try to shit there, nothing comes out, and again go, again sit, again. So people actually are now visiting the toilet, the bathroom 3 times. They go, it doesn't, sir, I don't know, after eating I feel like going again. Again you go, and it's some little bit comes and nothing comes out. Again come back. So people are going on 3 to 4 times. You have to shit once in the morning, maybe once in the night. That's it. This is all imbalance. So the glucose, what do? You are flooding. After eating 4 idlis or 1 paratha, 2 kulchas, North fellows, Of morning to evening they want to eat kulchas, parathas. And I said, what are you eating? Paratha. Afternoon, paratha. Right? Paratha. And then along with it some potato. Paratha, potato. Paratha, potato. Lassi. What is lassi? No. It is buttermilk and sugar. Actually, now you get addicted to this sugar. These are all names. Lassi, this and that. First you want sugar. And as if that is not enough, the whole world is now wanting something called chocolate. Theobroma cocoa. That name itself tells there is an alkaloid in the chocolate. Theobromine. Just like your caffeine, your nicotine, your morphine. This. So you see now the whole world is addicted to chocolate. Why? Theobromine, an alkaloid. So tons and tons of chocolates are. And now you have desert, chocolate desert. I go to Chamarajanagar, which is the most remote villages of our Karnataka now, one of the underdeveloped and not developed and all that kind of villages. Now they are eating strawberry and chocolate smoothie. For marriages, they are serving in these plastic cups and plastic cup people are eating. I didn't want to talk to you about plastic. I don't want to digress. Plastic is a monster that is killing the planet. The water bottles, the milk bottles, and the pads in the name of hygiene, sanitary pads. The whole planet is killing. In fact, the babies, they should not urinate on you. Just so instead of you are feeding the babies with the plastic. Plastic is not just going from here; it's going from bottom also. In fact, it is the reason for cancers. I think 6% of it is due to these pads. Many cervical cancer is. Actually, I don't want to talk about plastic. It takes another session for me. So I will with lot of effort, stop myself not to digress. Because it's very difficult not to digress. Yeah, that apart. Now come back to the glucose. So we have loading minimum of 150 grams of glucose into our blood on a daily basis, whether you're a small baby or a grown-up. Coffee, tea, donuts, this, that, all kinds of, and rice and wheat itself, 100 grams of rice, you'll dump 40 grams of glucose. So we have calculated, comes around 150 grams. So now, okay, we need glucose, we have to burn and then live. So why are you not happy about glucose going into your blood, but it is going into a fat. That is the thing, it is accumulated. What does it do if there is a lot of it? It starts absorbing water. So you have potential of water created. Because now the blood wants to suck all the water from various cells, wherever it is. So then you get parched, then you get thirsty. So what does liver, pancreas, all other endocrine system does? This is not the right thing to do. Anyway, you fellow, without asking us, you are dumping this much glucose. So we have to do something. The liver goes into extra work and starts converting into glycogen. So what it does, it again starts packing. What is glycogen? Is nothing but packing the glucose into complex carbohydrate again. It's a different form. So plants do some way. The animal bodies, not only humans, even other animals also make glycogen. So that's how glycogen is basis for fat preparation. So you have excess glycogen, you start making fat. So you started making fat. I have not talked about proteins. That comes little later. You have fat. So excess glucose is converted to fat. And then enough fat is there because already people started putting on weight. The bulging of system. So in Telugulo ఒక చిన్న జోక్ ఉంది. ఆడవాళ్ళు 9 నెలలు ప్రెగ్నెంట్ అయితే మగవాడు లైఫ్ లాంగ్ ప్రెగ్నెంట్. This is what is happening. And once it happens, it's difficult to get rid of this. Because you are eating these things, how can you lose your weight? You cannot, because you are producing fat, unrepairable damage. This is. As if that is not enough, we have still excess. It converts into cholesterol. It converts into triglyceride. It converts into rheumatic factors. Everything is going on. Still you have excess glucose. So the system gets sick of transforming this glucose into different things and said, I am done. It's enough. So it takes the glucose and dumps it on hemoglobin itself. So you have HbA1c. So it should have been 5, it becomes 6, 7, 8. So lo and behold, you are diabetic. It's not amount of glucose excess in the blood when you measure. It is this average of hemoglobin, because hemoglobin regenerates once in 3 months. I mean, the blood cells keep coming back as new, and the old can get recycled by spleen and gallbladder and liver, all these things put together, recycle the hemoglobin. So the new hemoglobin, that cell is coming, already glucose is there, just like your vaccinations. Baby comes out, you are ready with the shots. Just like the glucose is there, the hemoglobin, poor new hemoglobin cell is coming, stamp it with glucose. It's like immigration. So you are with already glucose on the top. Hemoglobin should actually have oxygen or carbon dioxide. Once it goes into the cell, the energy is gone, and it just catches the carbon dioxide, comes back, and then you exhale. But now what do we have in between? We have glucose in between. So it neither can take oxygen nor can take carbon dioxide. So once you are diabetic, you start becoming restless because you cannot breathe properly, because oxygen that is taken inside is not being absorbed by the blood. So many disturbances. So the system is going haywire. So once you become diabetic, lot of bad things happen. Your blood glucose is stopping. So the hemoglobin preparation, the synthesis gets deranged. So because that is getting rejected, to adjust that, the white blood cells come different. And then because it has to happen, everything has to be in balance. One is getting screwed up, all others get screwed up. So your immunity starts falling. So once you become diabetic, you have infections. Because these reasons. Oh, so you touch, you have a wound and it doesn't heal because there is glucose on top, so no breathing, no oxygen. If only oxygen is there, you can kill the bacteria that are coming up, because you are not producing immune cells. So it is ever going to be the same thing. That's why you become gangrenous. So you can give as many antibiotics as you want, as much as you think you have, all an array of battery of these antibiotics are produced, nothing happens. So no problem, we'll amputate your, not leg, first finger, then little bit. Then, because once you can do it from here, that's, no, step by step. So in Bangalore, 1995, 97 I think, just when I went to India back, they opened something called amputation hospital. They were amputating 8 legs per day. Now, it is almost 800 beds are there, and they are amputating, I don't know how many. That is the ratio, I mean the increase of diabetic patients. Now almost every other fellow is diabetic. Not only in India, everywhere. You see, that's why I call this imbalance of glucose is the most deadly one. And it's because your sugar cane, your rice and your wheat. It has spoiled the planet, it spoiled the health of the whole human race. So these 3 imbalances put together has actually been the responsible reasons for all of us being unhealthy. But then what do these guys want to take care of you by? These medicines. Whether it is allopathy, naturopathy, tatopathy, all pathis not working, go to Tirupati, you become Draupadi. Nothing happens. Because the problem of you becoming healthy is nothing to do with these tablets. You have all theories, this, that, all that. But the problem is very simple. You have to correct this. And that can happen only through what? The food. So then you have diet plans coming up. This diet, that diet, that diet. You do this, diabetes goes. You do this, heart blocks out. You do this. Nothing is going to work. You can have stunt, another, you can do a lot of stunts. That's all. Stent and stunt. Nothing is going to happen. So the real problem actually is you have lost health in the kitchen. So your kitchen has to be set right.